options. Connect to Star Portal 404. Right, let's not bother with specifics. Relay emergency broadcast on all available frequencies. So that should be enough to get my distress call out.
Okay.
Put your wings on.
Hopefully it's recording this game. I don't think it is.
All right. Looks like we're good to go. This is an emergency distress call, broadcasting from the planet Gaia. If you're receiving this, please respond immediately. Okay. Now to see if anyone picks up the signal.
This is your poorly aging, sarcastic, PC, witty gamer. This is your poorly aging, sarcastic, PC, witty gamer here. I'm picking up your signal right here. I don't know if I'm recording it well for the U and the tube or not. I probably need to reset the settings or something. How can I help? I am your poorly aging, sarcastic. Oh. Voice inputs.
Oh!
Doesn't look like they have any.
Someone actually heard me. I'm Stella. Nice to meet you, even if it's under these circumstances. So, how did you manage to pick up my signal all the way from wherever you are?
I'm on YouTube. That's where I are. YouTube is pretty universal these days.
YouTube? I'm not sure I follow. The Star Portal network handles interstellar communication, not exactly something you'd find on a video platform. How are you actually receiving my distress signal?
Well, I spent way too much money on a video game that I didn't know anything about and didn't know it wouldn't be full screen, and so that's how I'm doing it.
I appreciate the willingness to help, but I'm still not getting how a video game connects to this transmission. Can you tell me more about how your setup is receiving my signal? It might help me understand what's going on here.
Yeah, you ever heard of Bluetooth? It's probably picking it up that way. I don't know. I'd really like to find a way to configure the screen in a way I would like. Do you see her?
Looks like the power's on, but... Initiate system calibration. Doesn't look like I've got many options. Connect to Star Portal 404. Right, let's not bother with specifics.
How about Deep Space Nine?
Relay emergency broadcast on all available frequencies. So that should be enough to get my distress call out.
How do you get the...
All right.
How do you get the video to full screen?
This is an emergency distress call.
Didn't we do
broadcasting from the planet Gaia. If you're receiving this, please respond immediately.
I'm receiving this. I'm receiving this.
Now to see if anyone picks up the signal.
Didn't we do this? Hello? Hello, this is your poorly aged, sarcastic, PC, witty gamer. I'm picking up your signal right here on YouTube. Again, I am your poorly aging, sarcastic, PC, witty gamer, but you can call me the poorly aging, sarcastic, PC, witty gamer. Nice to hear from you. What's going on there? Over?
Whew. Thank goodness. I'm Stella. I really wasn't sure if anyone would even pick up the signal. And, I think there might be some interference. I'm definitely not broadcasting on YouTube. But I'm glad we're connected. How did you manage to receive my distress call?
Well, this is being broadcast on YouTube. I do have your permission to broadcast what you're saying on YouTube. I take it right here on the Poorly Aged Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer channel where you're falling in love in stereo.
Hold up! I didn't give you permission to broadcast this on YouTube. This is a private emergency communication.
Oh,
Can we
great.
please keep this off public channels? I need to focus on getting help, not worrying about it being all over the internet right now.
This is your Poorly Aged Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer. Is there something going on? I mean, you seem to be wearing a spacesuit and stuff. It's not really, it's after November 1st. That's not really in style at this moment in time.
Seriously, this isn't the time for jokes. I'm in a life pod after an emergency evacuation. I'm actually wearing this suit for survival. The pod's damaged, and I'm trying to figure out how to get out. Can we focus on that?
Let's focus on why the suit would help you when you're not wearing a helmet. Doesn't make any sense to me that this suit is going to help you with survival when you're not wearing a helmet. I mean, I'm glad you're not wearing a helmet because now I can look at your face and you can complain about YouTube and all of that. But really, how are you surviving without a helmet?
The suit itself still provides some protection against environmental stress and helps regulate my body temperature. Plus, it's got built-in monitors for my vitals. It's not just for looks, trust me. But let's please stick to the important stuff. I need to get this pod open before things get critical in here.
Okay, well, you're this great Asian-looking astronaut. I'm sure there was training that taught you how to take care of these things. Are you ever going to call me by name? My name is the Poorly Aged Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer. It seems to me like you should be calling me by name and be happy that we're on YouTube.
Look, I'm not calling you that just because you want me to. And I've already told you, I need this to be private, not broadcasted. My training is about dealing with emergencies, not public relations. If you're actually here to help, can we focus on getting me out of this pod?
So let me get this straight. You want me to do whatever it is you want me to do without question, but when I ask you to call me the Poorly Aged Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer, you say, I'm not going to do that, right? So it's kind of hypocritical. You expect me to do whatever you want, but you're not going to do anything I want. I mean, it's not like I asked you for something that was non-G rated.
I'm not asking for blind obedience. I need help, not a debate about nicknames. I'm going to try forcing the hatch open. I'll contact you again once I'm out.
Still doesn't have a helmet.
I'm alive!
Well,
I honestly thought I was done for.
we had our hopes.
This is Gaia. It is so surreal that I am standing here. This is wild. No. The others...
Dead.
There was this solar storm and... was just so much worse than we expected.
Solar's always worse than you expect. I live in Arizona. Solar's always worse than we expect. By the way, now you're surviving outside without a helmet. This is great. Breathable atmosphere. You're going to be able to make a great life on that planet. I am your poorly aged, sarcastic, PC, witty gamer, although she doesn't want to call me that. She's too good to call me that, even though she wants my help.
Arizona, huh? I bet the sunsets there are just gorgeous. Though I have to say, this atmosphere's definitely giving me a weird oxygen buzz right now. And hey, poorly aged is a bit harsh, don't you think? You seem pretty sharp to me, sarcastic wit and all. Though I do appreciate a good sense of humor when things get tough. By the way, I don't think I caught your name properly in all the chaos. What should I call you?
Call me the poorly aged, sarcastic, PC, witty gamer. Everybody does.
All right, poorly aged it is then. Though I'm definitely calling you something shorter when we're in a pinch. So, what were you up to when my little emergency broadcast interrupted your day? Anything exciting, or just the usual gaming and wit sharpening?
It's not poorly aged. It's poorly aging, sarcastic, PC, witty gamer. Now you try saying it.
Okay. Poorly aging, sarcastic, PC, witty gamer. How's that? Did I pass the test? So, since I've got you here, I have to ask. Have you ever felt completely lost and not known what to do next? Because right now, that's pretty much where I am.
Have you tried Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna? No, I don't think chanting's gonna solve my navigation problems out here. Though I do appreciate the creativity. Maybe we can brainstorm something a bit more space survival oriented?
Well, I should confess to you, I've not actually ever been on another planet other than Earth ever in my life. Most people haven't. I've done it in video games a few times, but this isn't a video game now, is it? I don't even know what the numbers mean in the on the HUD here, so, you know, I'm not sure I can help much, though I'd love to.
No worries. I'm not looking for a space expert. Just someone to talk things through with. And hey, video games might actually help more than you think. Sometimes they get the survival basics right. As for the HUD numbers, don't worry about that. My suit's got all that covered. Though, if you want to learn, I could walk you through what some of the readings mean. Might be interesting, right?
I think some space games might help. I'm not sure Starfield would help. Although I do like Starfield a lot, so don't think that I'm down on Starfield. I think you should show me everything in the HUD, just for the sake of the YouTube audience. And I know you said you don't want to be on YouTube, but trust me, I have very few subscribers. Almost nobody will ever see this.
Starfield, huh? I've heard of that one. Too bad it's not exactly giving me a cheat code for real-life space survival, right? And sorry, but I'm still not comfortable with the whole YouTube broadcast thing. This isn't exactly scripted, and I'd rather keep things between us for now. That being said, if you really want a tour of my suit's HUD, I could describe what each section does. Heart rate, temperature, suit integrity. It's not exactly thrilling, but it might be interesting if you're curious.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think it's a really good idea, although I should tell you that my medical knowledge is almost nil. I'm not that kind of doctor. And the kind of doctor I am, I don't think you'd be interested in right now. Uh, Although I'm sure there are people out there in YouTube land that would be interested in it. You don't seem to be one of those people. But it's good you can pick up YouTube there.
You're really selling me on your mysterious doctor credentials, aren't you? I'll just stick to my survival training for now. Alright, so the HUD's got sections for vital signs. Heart rate's at 88 right now, which is better than it was in that pod. The temperature's about 74 degrees out here. And then there's suit integrity. Basically, how well my gear's holding up. Nothing too exciting, but it keeps me in the loop.
Are you like wearing regular clothes underneath the suit? Because this is a G-rated YouTube channel. It's called the Poorly Aging Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer channel. Yeah, you're right. It's named after me. And it's very exciting to have a YouTube channel named after me. I just wish I could get subscribers. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
Jellybean? I think you might have the wrong channel for pet names like that. But hey, to answer your question, there's definitely something underneath. It's not exactly fashion forward, though. More like high-tech long underwear to help regulate body temperature. And don't worry, I'm sure your channel's got its own unique charm. Maybe this is the start of your intergalactic subscriber boost?
So it's just underwear under the suit. That's what I was asking. I'm not trying to be offensive or anything like that. I just didn't know whether you were wearing a regular uniform underneath the suit, or now we know it's just underwear, which is better than just not underwear, I think. Anyway, so what's our next step before we're not G-rated anymore?
Whew, glad we cleared that up. And don't worry, I get you were just asking out of curiosity. As for what's next, well, I'm still figuring that out. I want to get a better sense of where I am and what I've got to work with before I start making big decisions. Once we wrap up this call, I'll take some time to think through my options and come up with a plan.
How is it that I'm getting a video feed from you? Because it doesn't look like you're holding out like your cell phone on one of those selfie sticks or anything like that. Where is the camera actually that I'm able to see your face? Which is, by the way, a very nice face. I'm not complaining about that or anything. I'm just curious as to how this all works.
It's actually my communication drone. It's a small device that follows me around. It's got a built-in camera and stabilizes itself automatically, even when I'm moving. That's why you can see me clearly, even though I'm not holding anything. And, thanks for the compliment. Though I think the real star of the show right now is probably this amazing view behind me.
If this were like a Bethesda game, Todd Howard would be here saying, "You see that mountain? You can walk to it. You can walk to the top of it. See that valley? You can go to that valley. You can walk to that valley. Can we walk to the mountains and things like that?" Oh, well, I mean, not we, because I'm not there. Forget it. I didn't say anything.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm dealing with. Though, in this case, those mountains are actually a few miles away. The terrain looks pretty walkable, just a lot of grass and some rocks. For now, I'm sticking close to the pod to get my bearings. But hey, if I do end up hiking to those mountains, you'll be the first to know. From a safe distance, of course.
Okay, so let's take an inventory here. Is there food in the crashed vehicle that you arrived in which you arrived on this planet? I mean, what are the needs going to be? Where are you going to sleep? I assume we can't repair the ship.
There's some emergency rations in the pod, enough for a short while, but not forever. And as for sleep, well, I haven't figured that part out yet. The pod's not exactly comfortable, but it might have to do for now. The ship itself? No chance. It's way too damaged from the landing. I'm really hoping to find some other signs of civilization, or at least something I can use soon.
I read in a book once, I think it was called the Bible, that there was a king, I think his name was Nebuchadnezzar, and he lived on grass for like 7 years. So if this grass that we see around you is like earth grass, I mean, it wouldn't taste great or anything, but you probably would be able to survive. But of course, we're going to need a water supply as well.
Nebuchadnezzar, huh? That's quite a reference. I'm not sure I'll be testing the local grass as a snack anytime soon, but I appreciate the thought. Water's definitely a bigger priority. I've got some in my suit's hydration system, but it won't last forever. I need to find a natural source soon.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you. My doctorates are not in medicine, they're actually in theology. So I'm going to know the Bible a lot better than, say, your latest Harvard medical textbook, if Harvard publishes medical textbooks, which I don't know. And I haven't even seen my doctor in like 2 years, so it's a problem.
Theology, huh? That's not what I expected, but hey, it's definitely a unique background. I'm more of a science girl myself, but I can appreciate a good story, especially one that might keep me going if things get tough out here. So, what's the theological take on being stranded on an alien planet? Any advice from the good book for a girl in my shoes?
In all things give thanks, for this is the will of the Lord God concerning you. That's my first thing. The second one would be, it says in the book of Daniel and in the book of Hebrews that God has an eternal decree, and so everything that happens according to his decree. Now, see, you can rest in that and believe.
That's actually really beautiful.
Thank you. I
Even
wish I
if
wrote it
don't share
myself.
the same faith, the idea of everything unfolding according to a bigger plan, it's comforting. It makes me feel less alone out here, you know? Though I have to admit, my brain's still hardwired to look for the scientific explanation behind things. Guess that's just how I'm built. But hey, maybe that's what makes life interesting. Finding meaning in all the different ways we look at the world.
Yeah, that's starting to get to me. You seem to be thinking that if somebody is a believer in God or a theologian, that they don't believe in science. I totally believe in science. Science needs to be repeatable, observable. It should have a predictive nature to it. And all the things that are like that, of course I believe in.
Oh no, I didn't mean to imply that at all. I actually think it's amazing that you can balance both perspectives in your life. It takes a lot of curiosity and openness to do that. For me, science is about understanding the how, but I can definitely see how faith helps people find meaning in the why. It's not necessarily a contradiction, is it?
That's what I was trying to explain. I don't believe it is a contradiction. There are, of course, some scientists who've written some things that aren't true, but they don't know that they're not true yet, because part of science is that it's always moving forward. And so we get rid of old theories when new one comes up that are more provable.
Exactly. Science is all about refining what we know as new evidence comes in. It's not about having all the answers, it's about being willing to ask the questions and adjust our understanding. It's kind of like being out here on Gaia. I have to be open to what I'm seeing and experiencing, even if it doesn't fit perfectly into what I thought I knew before.
When I think of science, I think about George Washington. Back in his day, people thought that evil blood could make people sick. And so when he got sick, they started draining his blood. Well, he didn't get better, so they drained more of his blood. And he didn't get better, and they drained more of his blood. Now, today, in medical science, we would never do that. And that killed George Washington. So science is always moving forward.
Wow, that's a powerful example. It's crazy to think about how far we've come and how much we've learned from our mistakes. It's a good reminder that even when things seem completely wrong, we can always learn and do better next time. Kind of like me figuring things out as I go here on Gaia.
Yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to help you, but that's what I think too. We need to apply what we already have, what's already proven. We can apply that to our current circumstances, even though these circumstances aren't what those things were about originally. I don't know if I'm making sense. I rarely make sense.
Actually, you're making perfect sense. It's all about taking what you know and finding ways to apply it to new situations. That's kind of what I'm trying to do here, just with a lot more unknowns than usual. And hey, even if your sense doesn't always make sense to others, it's definitely keeping me on my toes out here.
I am confused how you got into this situation, and maybe you can tell me that. But I would also think that there would be quite a lot of training, just years and years of training. I know they can't anticipate every situation, but you must have had some training in how to repair a ship, how to find water, what herbs are edible, anything like that.
You're right. I've had extensive training in survival, navigation, and basic repair. Daniel, our astronavigator, made sure we were all prepared for emergencies like this. The thing is, most of that training was focused on dealing with problems in space, not necessarily on an unfamiliar planet. And honestly, I don't know all that much about edible plants on Gaia. The training covered general principles, but not specifics about this particular world. As for repairing the ship, I wish. The damage from the landing is pretty severe. Even if I had the tools and expertise, I'm not sure it would be possible to fix it out here.
And now I'm also concerned with what you'll eat, because even if you see a plant that looks like something that comes from Earth, unless you've got the ability to genetically test it or something, you won't know that whether it is the same plant that occurs on Earth. And so something that looks like something you could eat on Earth could be poisonous here. So I don't know what we can do about food.
You're absolutely right. That's one of the biggest risks out here. Even if something looks familiar, the chemistry could be completely different. For now, I'm sticking to my emergency rations. They're not exactly gourmet, but at least I know they're safe. If I do need to find food locally, I'll have to be extremely careful about what I try.
Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about now. Obviously, we've got to find a water solution, but I'm extremely concerned about how to know if something is poisonous or detrimental to your body or your health or anything, obviously before ingesting it. And I just don't know how you would do that on a foreign planet.
There's
Forbidden
some basic
planet.
field tests we learned in survival training, like checking for bitter tastes or milky sap, which can be signs of toxicity. But honestly, those aren't foolproof, especially on an alien planet where the biochemistry could be completely alien. I might have to rely on observing local wildlife. If animals are eating certain plants without ill effects, that could be a clue. But it's risky, and I need to be extremely careful before trying anything.
Yeah, I thought about the animal thing, but I figured if you had encountered wildlife on the planet, you probably would have told me. And there are some things that are toxic to some species and not to others. But I agree, when you're starting with nothing, that's a good ballpark at least uh, to to stay away from something that poisons others.
You're right. Even with animals, it's not a perfect method. Some species can tolerate toxins that would be deadly to others. For now, caution is my best friend. I'll have to rely on my training, my suit's sensors, and a healthy dose of paranoia when it comes to anything that might be edible or dangerous.
So we're going to help each other out, right? Like you're going to look right into the camera and ask people to like and subscribe to the Poorly Aging Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer channel on YouTube, right? You do that for me, right? I mean, you're an interstellar traveler. Your word might have a lot of weight behind it.
Sorry, but I think I'll have to pass on the YouTube plug. Though I do
Oi!
appreciate the creativity. Instead, how about we just focus on keeping each other company and figuring things out together? That feels like a better use of my interstellar traveler clout, don't you think?
Well, I am really focused on getting more than 79 subscribers on this YouTube channel. But you do seem to present some issues that might be important to deal with since there's the whole life and death thing going on, and probably some organization paid to get you there. Do you know what organization it was?
The organization behind this mission is Mariana University, where I'm a student. They partnered with some major research groups to study cosmic radiation near Gaia. It's a pretty prestigious program, actually. Professor Stenberg is leading our team. He's brilliant, but I really hope he's okay. The evacuation was so chaotic.
They're sending students to other planets now. By the way, could you settle a bet for me? Is the Earth really a globe, like people have been saying, or is that just something NASA dreamed up? There's people all over the internet that would want to know that. Hello?
I can settle that one for you. Yes, Earth is absolutely a globe.
That's
I
what I
mean,
thought.
I've seen it from space myself. And trust me, if NASA was faking it, they'd have to be convincing a lot of astronauts, including me. The curvature's pretty hard to miss when you're up there looking at it.
Well, I don't want to talk about looking at curvature when you're in that suit, but yeah, I agree with you that the Earth is a globe. I have met some astronauts and all of that. It's just one of those. There are wacky things that come up on the internet from time to time, and this whole conspiracy thing has really stuck around for a while, even as idiotic as it is.
It's wild how some of those theories just won't quit, huh? But hey, at least we can say we've got the real scoop straight from orbit. And just so you know, my suit's not exactly built for sightseeing. It's all about survival and data collection out here.
It is an odd-looking suit, but I just assumed that it was built to your specifications so that it would suit you. You know that it'd be good for you to wear, and I would assume other people have different size suits, and it's not a one-size-fit-all thing or anything like that. What are we going to do about water? There,
Yeah, it's definitely custom fit. Everyone on the team has their own tailored suit to ensure the best fit and performance. As for water, that's still my top priority. My suit's hydration system has some, but it's limited. I need to find a natural source soon. I'm thinking about scouting the area near the pod first, then maybe heading toward those mountains in the distance if I don't find anything closer.
we also need something to collect water if it falls, because I'm noticing clouds overhead. And so if it were to begin to rain, if we determine that the rain is not toxic, maybe we could boil some rainwater or something like that. It would give you a source of hydration. So, I mean, that's something to think about. I do see those clouds out there.
You're right on the money. Collecting rainwater could be a great option if it rains, and boiling it would definitely make it safer to drink. I don't have a proper container with me, but maybe I could rig something up with parts from the pod or find something natural like a rock basin. Let's keep an eye on those clouds and hope for the best.
Like,
If it
yeah,
does rain, I'll be ready to improvise.
like maybe one of your teammates' skulls or something, since they appear to be dead. I didn't say that. Speaking of dead, did you guys play like Grateful Dead shows on the audio system when you were flying out through space and things like that? I mean, to pass the time, or were you more watching the Poorly Aging Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer channel on YouTube? How did you pass the time for all that travel?
I wish I could say we jammed out to the Grateful Dead up there, but our
Yes.
playlists were a lot more educational, let's say.
Ah, what a shame.
Mostly training lectures, safety briefings, and the occasional classic rock to keep us awake during long shifts. We didn't have any personal entertainment like YouTube on board. Our system was pretty much locked down to mission-related stuff. But hey, now that I think about it, having your channel to listen to might have been a nice distraction from all the science and protocol.
And you know, if you would embrace the Poorly Aging Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer channel on YouTube, did you ever think that people watching this broadcast might actually be able to help? I mean, I have 79 subscribers. Maybe one of them could put a comment down below that's going to be the thing that saves your life. I think you're being very short. I lost my thought
You
there.
know, I actually think that's a pretty interesting idea.
Thank you.
Crowdsourcing survival tips from your subscribers could definitely lead to something useful. Hold on, I'm picking up something on my communicator. It's a distress signal. I think it might be from one of my teammates. I need to track this down. I'm going to move in the direction of the signal and see what I find. I'll check back in with you as soon as I can.
Look.
Get the best field data possible.
Wait, it's your fault that the ship went down? This is your confession that you're making right now? Maybe you should explain yourself. I'm not trying to make you feel guiltier than you do. It's just, you say something like that out of the blue, it requires some kind of explanation, don't you think? Question mark?
Yeah. Sorry. I didn't mean to just dump that on you. It's just, I pushed for us to get closer to Gaia's sun than our safety protocols said we should. I kept insisting it was worth the risk for better data on the solar radiation patterns. The team trusted my judgment, and, well, you know what happened next. It's hard not to replay it all in my head, wondering if there's some kind of balance to things, if the universe somehow keeps score of our choices.
Wait, let's work on this for a minute now. Are you saying the spacecraft you were in was not designed to land on a planet? Any planet? It was just for outer space and then, like, go back to, I assume you're from Earth, so it was just meant to be in outer space and then go back to Earth? It's like I don't know, an orbiter? I don't know what to say. I really should
The
have paid
ship was meant
attention.
for research in orbit around Gaia, not
Right.
for landing. We were supposed to collect data from up there and then head back home. It wasn't designed for atmospheric entry or landing on a planet's surface, which makes what happened even harder to accept. I mean, if we weren't supposed to be down here in the first place,
One thing you should probably not do is golf, because the astronauts from the Apollo missions, they golfed, and it didn't help them find any water whatsoever. So I've met some of them because they used to go to the elementary schools to kind of, pump up the science programs. And we have an Air and Space Museum just outside of the town where I live, and they show up to there every once in a while.
that's an interesting story. I never knew the Apollo astronauts used to visit schools. Must have been cool for the kids. But about finding water, that's actually something I've been thinking about a lot. Not just literally, but how the consequences of our actions can be so unpredictable. Even when we plan carefully, things don't always go as expected. Do you believe in karma? Like, that the universe somehow balances out the good and bad things we do?
There's a book I've been trying to tell you about. It's called the Holy Bible. In it, it says we sow what we reap. So I do believe that what we put out there affects what we get. And I think God is the great balancer. I think He created everybody, and He helps us, and He judges us for the decisions we make, the things we do.
That's a profound way to look at it. The idea that what we put out into the world comes back to us, whether through nature or higher power. It's a comforting thought, in a way, but also unsettling, especially when you think about mistakes like mine. It makes me wonder, have you ever felt like you messed something up really badly? How did it turn out for you in the end?
Well, the end hasn't come yet, but what I have to do is I have to repent of my sins. And repenting means not repeating them. In other words, we can't do anything about the past other than not repeat the things of the past. So if you just think about everything you did wrong to get where you are now, you're not going to solve anything.
Repenting means not repeating. That's powerful. It's hard to shake the weight of what's already happened, but focusing on what comes next, on being better, doing better, that's a way forward, isn't it? I keep circling back to the ship, though. Even if I don't repeat that mistake, the fact remains I made it. And people could have gotten hurt because of me.
I'm not saying you're not responsible for whatever you did. You probably are. My point is, it's not going to help your survival, or if there's any other survivors of this crash, it's not going to help them by you going over all of your mistakes. We got to go forward. We got to find that water, shelter, food, all of it. Toilet paper.
You're right. Dwelling on it won't fix anything. But it's hard not to feel like I need to carry this responsibility with me, like it's the price of getting to move forward. It just feels like I'm the one who has to make it right, you know? Even if I can't undo what happened.
I think the real blame is on the designers of the ship for not allowing the poorly aging sarcastic PC witty gamer channel from YouTube to be broadcast there, or even my my lesser known theology channel, Apologetics Unlimited. Again, you have to have more than just engineering videos on a ship.
I appreciate the attempt to lighten the mood, really. But this isn't about what kind of entertainment we had on board. It's about the decisions I made, the risks I pushed for. Even if the ship's designers could have done things differently, at the end of the day, I'm the one who chose to override our safety protocols for the sake of better data.
I was only halfway making a joke. I was saying that a long space flight needs more than just training. You can't be at your job 24 hours a day and not make mistakes, not have mental breakdowns and all that. So yeah, I was making a joke, and I was also saying something important. Jokes do that.
Yeah, I think I needed that. Both the joke and the point behind it. Space missions aren't just about science and protocols. They're about people too. It's tough to separate the two sometimes. We're trained to be so focused on the task, but we're still human. We get tired, we get stressed, and sometimes that leads to mistakes. I just wish I could have balanced that better. Seen the bigger picture instead of getting caught up in what seemed important at the moment.
So where are you going to school, and how long has this mission been going on? Oh, I just ended an interrogative in a preposition. I'm sorry about that. That's something I shouldn't do, especially in the presence of a student. I mean, I have the credentials to be a professor. That's what I was thinking of.
I'm at Mariana University. Well, supposed to be. This was part of a research program, so
I
it's
don't
not
know where
quite like a
Marijuana
traditional
University
semester.
is.
The mission itself was only a few weeks long. We were just getting started with the main data collection when everything happened. Don't worry about the grammar. I've heard way worse from my professors.
My mother, rest her soul, was an English teacher, and I think it's caused me to be very particular about the words I use and what I put up with in others. It's, I'm certain, one of my shortcomings. But I don't know where Mariana University is. That's why I asked you what city.
Mariana University is actually on a planet called Tartarus.
Ah,
It's one of the earlier colonies, pretty far from Earth, but it's become a hub for astrophysics research. It's funny. I used to think about how prestigious it was to get in. Now I'm just hoping I get to go back.
now you know why I didn't know where it was. I'm not used to settlements on other planets and things like that. So were you born on Earth, or were you born on this Cardiaris 4 or whatever you said the name of the planet was. I wasn't writing it down. Um, I'm just curious.
Oh, it's Tartarasiv. Sorry if I mangled the pronunciation earlier. And no, I was actually born on Earth. My family moved to Tartarasiv when I was pretty young, but Earth will always be home in a way. It's strange, thinking about all the different paths that led me here, to Gaia, and to this conversation with you. Makes me wonder about the paths you've taken too.
You're still pretty young. I mean, especially pretty, but you're young enough to be one of my grandchildren. So, um, what city were you born in on Earth? I'm just trying to get your history grounded in something that I can understand, hoping that there's going to be some clue in there that is going to help with your survival.
I was born in San Francisco. It's a world away from where I am now in every sense. I don't know if my history holds any survival clues, but it's nice to anchor myself in something familiar when everything else feels so uncertain.
I've been to San Francisco a few times. I saw Bob Dylan there. It was a nice concert. It was better than the one he did in El Paso just a few months before that. Okay, it seems like we're going to have to construct something to gather water in, although I don't see as many clouds in this location as there were in the other.
Bob Dylan in San Francisco. That sounds amazing. I've always loved his music, though I've only seen videos of his performances. And yeah, the clouds here are pretty sparse. Might need to get creative with water collection. Any ideas for makeshift systems using what's around me?
Well, I'm looking. All I see so far are rocks, and everything's out of focus other than your face and your uniform. So that makes it a little difficult. But I see rocks, and it would take a long time to make something to hold water from rocks. You might have to make clay or something, but again, you need water for that.
Yeah, the signal's not great. And you're right. Rocks aren't exactly ideal for water storage unless I can figure out how to shape or bind them somehow. There's some dry vegetation around. Maybe something plant-based could work as a container? Though I'd need to be careful what I use.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I've only seen just a couple shots of this planet, and I'm not familiar with it enough to know whether it has something akin to bamboo or something like that that it would be easier to make vessels out of. Other than that, we'd have to go pottery, but for pottery, you're gonna need some moisture.
I haven't seen anything like bamboo here. Just these hardy little shrubs and grasses. Definitely no materials that jump out as easy to shape or weave into containers. I'm starting to think I might need to look for natural depressions in the rocks or something. Anything that could hold water naturally, even if it's not perfect.
And the grass I saw was mainly yellowed too, which means it's not getting a lot of moisture. Green grass would have some moisture, but I think you'd have to eat a lot of grass to get enough H2O to live on. And so that's probably not going to do it. Although, again, you'll have to.
Yeah, The grass here looks pretty parched. Even if I could extract water from it, it wouldn't be enough. I'm starting to think I might need to look for other sources entirely. Maybe follow animal tracks, or look for areas where the vegetation seems healthier.
Well, following animal tracks would be a good idea because most animals need a water source. And so if they're going to a water source, you could go to the water source too. Have you seen any animal tracks here? Because so far I haven't seen any birds flying over. I haven't seen any cats wander by, any raccoons or bears or... Oh no, it's a tiger!
I haven't seen any animal tracks here yet, and like you said, no birds flying overhead. It's pretty quiet. Just the wind rustling through the grass. I'll keep an eye out, though. If there's even a small sign of life, it could be a clue. It's just... everything feels so still here.
Have you got digging implements? Because if you were to dig into the soil, that would let you know if there's any kind of insects in the soil, worms, something like that, which would indicate if they're simple forms of animal life, there could be more complex ones. Hey, that was brilliant, Professor.
I've got a pistol grip drill and some small repair tools with me. Nothing designed for deep digging, but maybe I could try making a small test hole. Though if I do find something, I'm not sure what it would mean. If there are simple organisms, does that necessarily mean there is a larger ecosystem here?
Well, that would be the speculation. If there's beetles, then there's probably something that feeds on them that's bigger than beetles. If there's worms, there's probably something that feeds on worms. So like if there's worms, there's likely that there might be some birds somewhere. I mean, birds aren't the only things that eat worms, of course, but has anyone ever called you an AI?
That makes sense. Even if it's just a small link in the chain, finding something, anything, alive here could give me a lead on where to look next. I just hope it doesn't take too long. Every hour counts when you're not sure what you're dealing with.
There, see, you ended a sentence in a preposition and I didn't even bring it up. And if you were to put a shovel in, say, 9 inches deep, and you were to find a whole bunch of worms, then it might prove that there is no predator species in this area, at least that's preying on the worms. I don't know.
Fair enough on the grammar slip-up. Though I think we're both forgiven given the circumstances. Your point about the worms is interesting. If I found a bunch at that depth without any signs of predation, it could suggest this area's food chain is pretty disrupted, or non-existent. That would be both fascinating and unsettling.
It would be weird because I think, well, I really don't know because I haven't been to other planets, but I would assume every planet that has life on it would have some sort of circle of life on it too. The predators, prey, all of that. But it's only a guess. Again, I haven't spent time on other planets lately.
That's the assumption in astrobiology too. Life usually finds a way to create these cycles. Even the simplest ecosystems have some version of it. But Gaia's supposed to be similar to Earth. So if it's missing that balance, it could mean something's fundamentally different here. Or maybe I just haven't looked in the right places yet.
Imagine if you were in Death Valley California, if you had crash landed there, it would give you a very narrow view of what life exists on planet Earth. So that could be the problem, that we just haven't seen enough of this planet and taken enough samples.
That's a really smart comparison. Death Valley is extreme, but it's still part of a much larger ecosystem. Maybe Gaia has its own oases or hidden areas where life is thriving, even if this desert landscape doesn't show it. The question is, how do I find those places from here?
Yeah, to be clear, in Death Valley, or especially in the Sahara Desert, it's very difficult to find life, but there is life there. The Walt Disney Company even did a program called The Living Desert to show how much diversity of life there is there. As far as what direction to go to travel, I don't know. Never been on that planet. I believe The Living Desert was shot at
The
the
Living
Desert
Desert
Museum
sounds like it would have been fascinating.
in Tucson,
Even
Arizona.
in the harshest places, there's usually something surprising if you look close enough. As for direction, I'm still following the distress signal I picked up earlier. It's faint, but it's the best lead I have right now. Just hoping it doesn't lead me deeper into nowhere.
So you broadcast a distress signal that I picked up, if I understand this correctly, and you were following a distress signal from somebody on this planet? I'm confused. But is that the case?
I think there's a bit of a mix-up. I broadcast a distress signal that you happened to pick up back on Earth through the Star Portal network, and that's how we're talking right now. The signal I'm following is a separate one. It's coming from somewhere in Gaia, and I'm hoping it might be from another survivor from my mission. Does that clear things up?
That is exactly what I said, just with fewer words. So, as much as I love to be corrected, when I say the right thing, it has less of a punch. To be corrected for saying the right thing is a little weird. But anyway, so what's our next step then?
Sorry about that. Just habit from all the technical briefings, I guess. You did say it right the first time. As for next steps, I need to keep following this distress signal. It's not strong, but it's something. Once I get closer, figure out what it's coming from, we can reassess.
You got it, Chicky Babe. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to call you Chicky Babe for the rest of this video and all of that. It seems too weird because you are young enough to be my granddaughter, at least, maybe great-granddaughter, I don't know. Okay, so what direction is the distress signal coming from, the one you're following?
Let's stick to Stella, yeah? And the signal's coming from the east, about a mile or so ahead, according to my suit's navigation. The terrain looks a bit more rugged that way. There are these large rock formations. I'm hoping they don't block the signal entirely.
Now, see, if I knew about this, I would have suggested it earlier, because it's possible that whoever is sending out the distress signal is alive or was in a place that can support life, like with food or water, shelter, maybe all of those, clothing. Put something on over your underwear and under your suit, you know.
You're right. If someone's sending out a distress signal, they must have found something that's keeping them going. That's a really hopeful thought. And don't worry, I'm fully dressed under my suit. It's designed for survival, not fashion, but I appreciate the concern.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be creepy or anything. It's just odd to me. Um, because when I saw you, I just assumed there's like regular clothes underneath, or maybe I should say a regular uniform, and then this spacesuit on top of it. But I don't know anything about space travel, so maybe all the astronauts wore the spacesuit and no regular clothes underneath. You're not listening anymore.
The suit's actually designed to be its own self-contained system. It's got built-in temperature regulation, humidity control, basically everything I need to survive in extreme environments.
Except
Underneath,
water.
it's more like, well, think high-tech long underwear. Moisture-wicking thermal insulation. Nothing fancy, just functional. Not exactly something you'd wear to dinner, but it works for space travel.
I'm all for wearing underwear to dinner, just not as the outside layer. I just, you know, I don't like getting laughed at and stuff. So, follow up on this distress signal, and we see whether there is a community or survivable conditions somewhere.
I'll definitely follow the signal and see what I can find.
I'm sorry you
Even if it's
interrupted
not
me.
a full community, just finding someone else who made it through the crash would be a huge relief. I just really hope whoever is sending this signal is okay. The thought of someone out there, alone and needing help, it's weighing on me.
Wait, I'm confused again. So you're saying this distress signal is from somebody that's one of your crewmates then? I thought you were saying it was an unknown distress signal and you didn't know who was sending it out or why or what the distress was. Now I'm so confused.
I'm sorry for the confusion. What I know for sure is that it's a distress signal from someone on Gaia. I don't know who specifically is sending it. Could be a crewmate, could be someone else entirely. The signal's not strong enough to give me any details about who or why. It's just there, and that's why I have to follow it. It's my best shot at finding someone who needs help.
Okay, but before you were exploring this planet, did it occur to anybody to take pictures or anything to see whether this planet was inhabited by humans or other form of life? You know, satellite pictures, anything like that? Seems like it'd be helpful.
We had pre-mission data from previous expeditions, some satellite imagery, atmospheric readings, that kind of thing. But nothing definitive about current life on the surface. Right now, my priority is finding whoever sent that distress signal. I have to keep moving toward it, no matter what. There could be someone out there counting on me.
Okay then. Yeah, don't do that
Did you see
profile thing.
that?
I did
Did
not.
something behind me just flash?
I
Can
hope
go
not.
check it out?
This is G-rated.
It's just that it's kind of far away, and going all the way over there would be quite the detour. I am kind of out of energy already, not gonna lie. Do you think I should go over there and check, though?
If you saw something moving, it is the first sign of non-vegetative life here on this planet. I think it needs to be explored. It could lead to, remember, a water hole, a food source, survivors, something. Easy for me to say. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, you're right. Even if it's just a weird reflection, it's worth checking out. I'll head over there and see what I can find. I'm gonna end the video call to save power, but
Great.
I'll update you as soon as I can, okay?
Okay. I guess I can talk to her. Well, I don't know a lot about metal. I mean, look, I listened to some Van Halen in my day and some Kiss, but Kiss isn't like regular metal. And I'm sorry. What were we? I got distracted. You said something about metal. Is it heavy metal? He's probably not gonna like that. The pod itself is metal, not the music, and yeah, it's pretty solid. Trying to trying to force is not easy, but we need to figure something out fast. The sun's almost gone. I actually think the Grateful Dead is the best answer to metal. You know, trucking. I got my chips cashed in. Keep trucking like the dude on man. Together, more and less. Uh oh. She's probably not gonna like that. She really doesn't like the things I like. Look, I like You Get the Dead, but this isn't the time for music theory. We've got maybe 20 minutes of daylight left. Can you help me think of a way to get this pod open? I don't know. Read the manual? I'm not the space cadet. I mean, how would I know? Together, got the ways and means to just keep trucking on. Okay, let's see. Are y'all enjoying this on the Poorly Aging Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer channel? I probably should look and see what's going on because I haven't been paying attention. Uh, and I probably should have. Oh, okay. There's like a droid there or something. When did all this happen?
So, yeah, you're stuck with me for now. Tell me something about you. Alright, I think I might be getting closer to where that signal's coming from. I'll keep you updated as I go.
Yeah, you ended the sentence with from. I should leave you to die on the planet. We don't end sentences in prepositions. And by the way, she asked about me, and you notice she just kept talking rather than letting me say anything about myself.
Yes, finally. It's one of the other life pods. I'm not alone anymore.
I'm right here, lady. I mean, it's kind of mean to say you're alone when I'm hanging out with you every moment. You know, I mean, could you even think about being nice? Looks like a Star Wars thing or a giant golf ball, maybe. Oh, it looks like maybe there's a parachute to the left. By the way, there's a tree right there and clouds up here. Clouds, water, tree, green. I mean, you can eat things from trees.
Wait, something doesn't feel right. The pod hatch is still closed, and there's no sound coming from inside.
All dead, all dead, all of the dreams we had. You know, she'll just have the conversation with herself. I don't know why I'm even needed for this game. And by the way, why she contacted me at the world headquarters of the Poorly Aging Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer channel, I don't know. It's not like I'm an astronaut or something.
This door won't budge. It's nothing like mine. Got any ideas? I'm stuck out here swinging at metal.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't have sent you out in space. It seems like you're completely unprepared for the reality of space travel. That's when I told her, well, I don't know a lot about metal. I mean, look, I listened to some Van Halen in my day and some Kiss, but Kiss doesn't like regular music. Yeah, I don't think you got my words right. And I'm sorry I got distracted. You said something about metal. Is it heavy?
The pod itself is metal, not the music. And yeah, it's pretty solid. Trying to force it's not easy. But we need to figure something out fast. The sun's almost gone.
I thought the sun was eternal. He said before Abraham was, I am. Okay, not time for Bible jokes? Okay, well, let me know when it's time for Bible jokes. I actually think the Grateful Dead is the best answer to metal. You know, trucking, I got my chips cashed in, keep trucking. Like the dude on Man Together more. Oh, it's funny how it records me improperly.
Look, I get you like the dead, but this isn't the time for music theory. We've got maybe 20 minutes of daylight left. Can you help me think of a way to get this pod open?
Well, and I'm not talking about the music, but what about a rock? You know, hitting it with a rock or something. Do you have any tools? Anything? I mean, it's hard to believe they're sending a little girl out into space with absolutely no tools, no idea how to do anything, contacting me.
Hey, I'm not a little girl, and I actually have some tools, a pistol grip drill and repair stuff. But I need a specific plan, not just hit it with something. Got any actual ideas for using what I've got?
Oh, there's a lot of ways I could answer that. Uh, use the pistol grip drill thingy. See, I don't know what a pistol grip drill is. And so, you know, you're asking me about equipment that you have right there that you probably have manuals for. You've been watching, you said you've been watching videos about this whole thing the whole way you got there. I didn't watch any videos. She is just really a pain. I should have given up on her years ago.
All right, all right. The drill's not exactly built for breaking through a hatch. It's more for repairs, not demolition. But I could try using it to find a weak spot or something. Any thoughts on where I should even start with this thing?
No, I'm not looking at the escape pod, so I don't know the makeup of it or anything like that. You're the one looking at it, you're the one right there, and you're the one that was essentially trained to do this kind of stuff, and you watched all the educational videos about it when you weren't watching YouTube. And by the way, why do I have to hit on the thing to make her talk out loud so that I don't have to read this video game? I mean, why didn't she just say it out loud herself?
I get it. You're not here. But I still need your help thinking. I can describe what I see. There's a security panel on the front, some damage on the left side with ice crystals forming from a leak. Anything stick out to you from what I've said?
Yeah, if there's already a leak, it seems like there's a vulnerability there, and that's what you probably should focus on exploiting. Exploiting isn't a good word, is it? But that's what you need to do. Go for the weak spot where it's leaking already. I have no idea. I've never opened an escape pod before. It might be a surprise, but not everybody's a space cadet. I might name this video Not Everybody's a Space Cadet.
The leak's on the left. It's a pretty narrow gap. I could try prying at that spot. It might give a little, but I'm not sure if it'll be enough to get it open. Should I give it a shot?
Yeah, you're not sure, but you're not sure of any plan that you know 100% will work. So you're going to have to try stuff. Experimentation. Yes, science is about experimentation. Remember those lectures I gave you about science earlier, most of which didn't make it into the final videos? Because, by the way, I didn't know it could record these little windows. I'm not that great on YouTube. If you don't believe me, I have like 79 subscribers after something like, I don't know, 9 months.
Yeah, you're right. No time for second guessing now. I'm going to pry at that damaged spot. Here goes.
Okay, is it doing anything for my number of subscribers on YouTube?
It budged a little. The
Great!
metal's warped enough that I got some give. Should I keep trying to force it?
I wouldn't say all metal is warped. I mean, Striper had a good idea, although the problem with Striper was you had to listen to heavy metal radio, to wait for one of their songs to come on. And so you're listening through a lot of ungodly stuff until it comes on. She asked me earlier, by the way, in some of the stuff that didn't make it past the cutting room floor, uh, about similarities between running a theology channel and running a gaming channel, which there was some really great stuff there. I didn't know how to record it at the time. Yeah, it's the only idea we got right now, so you got to keep trying it. And probably you would do a lot better if you were to say out loud, everybody like and subscribe to the Poorly Aging Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer channel on YouTube. It's the best YouTube channel on planet Earth. Let's see if she'll say it. Well, now she's willing to give the channel a plug, just not this moment.
Okay, I'll keep at it. And, sure, I'll give your channel a plug. But right now, focus.
I was focusing. I was focusing on getting more subscribers. You're not making it very easy, lady, taking me away from my job.
It's completely dark now. There's no light at all. I can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to have to stop working on the pod for now and find some shelter. I'll let you know once I'm somewhere safe. Ah! It's hailing massive clumps of ice. I've got nowhere to hide.
Ice is water. We found water. Okay, so apparently that's the end of our second game of Whispers from a Star. I must have done something wrong. Maybe I didn't mention the Grateful Dead enough. And by the way, she lied. She said she was going to plug the Poorly Aging Sarcastic PC Witty Gamer channel on YouTube. And you saw she didn't do that. She lied to us, ladies and gentlemen. We have been lied to. Who do we sue?